you need something new to listen, out of all the other shit, Bass Tapes has what you need, and it goes like this. Every other Friday morning, you get a little treat, something not too long and feels more complete. Bass Tapes, Bass Tapes, Bass Tapes. Please listen to our Bass Tapes.
All right, I have started my recording.
Now, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about with Hamsey specific, or were you just feeling spontaneous and being like, "Yo, Hamsey, let's hop on a Bass Tapes"?
Oh, he mentioned it when we were at RuneFest. He was like, "Dude, we should record one of the Bass Tapes," and just it sounded like a good idea because I haven't had the chance to sit down. The only one-on-one sort of casts I've ever had were just the Sebe cast, and I really enjoyed talking to Sater. You've had your own Sebe cast, so you know this too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a different experience doing a one-on-one cast. And I was talking to him at RuneFest about he's been streaming for a long time. He's also one of the other people like me who has a full-time job, but he's also balancing it with all the streaming that he's doing. And I don't know where he has decided to be in his content creator arc, whether it's gonna stick to it or slow down on it. But I think given the fact that I decided to go for a full-time job and completely quit streaming, I think it would have been a fun conversation, and what he was sort of alluding to talking about on this cast. So was kind of hoping to have a one-on-one thing with him there, sort of dissect his brain, see what's going on. And I was like, yeah, man, let's fucking do it. But that's the only reason I picked it. I was like, yo, Hamsey, let's do it, because he mentioned it.
And he fucking bailed on you. He's gone. He's not here. But you're here, Ignoble, on Bass Tapes episode whatever this is. I don't even think there's going to be a number for this. I think it's just going to be Bass Tapes Ignoble. I think that's what I'm going to do. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I plan on just doing that for these episodes going forward. And let me tell you out there, folks, you got some crazy episodes coming out. Well, they probably would have been out right now because I'm talking about the backlogged episodes. Yeah. But Ignoble, thank you so much for that introduction as to why this Bass Tapes is now taking place. Hamsey has abandoned you, probably to obligate his work. More than likely.
Yeah, the fucking loser. Imagine having to juggle both the job and streaming and fucking content creating. That's so cringe, dude. Grow up.
Yeah, just quit your job like I did and move to a different state with a significant other for a year and a half, only for them to realize that it's not what they want, and then you have to move back home.
Damn, dude, I'm not a therapist. I just want to let past that. I just want to let you know that right now.
No, it's okay, bro. It's all good. It's just life, man. It really is. Yeah. It is what it is. Thankfully, I wasn't out there depending solely on her. I was still grinding with the YouTube podcast and the YouTube series of Top Tuesday as the editor, and doing my own thing as well on the side. And
Glad to hear that, dude.
There's a lot of hardworking people amongst our peers. A lot of people that have full-time jobs, and they either stream or they do content on the side, whether video editing, shorts, graphical design, Photoshop, all that fun stuff. And it's a lot of RuneScape players that do that. Do you think there's a reason why so many people are just so obsessive on working a normal job, and then as soon as they get home, they hop on and they work their second job of playing RuneScape and streaming it to people in one way or another?
I mean, I honestly, I think that's just everyone out there. For us, we are in the RuneScape bubble, right? We see the people around us who are RuneScape fiends, which are, doesn't matter if you have a job or not, the fiend, the fucking drug, the addiction can hit you no matter what your occupation is, right? But all the other people that I know who are, employed and do have like full-time jobs, they come home and they have other shit that they come like do as their hobby. For us, like all the people we associate with, it's RuneScape, right?
Yeah.
But everybody else, it's like they come home and there's some people who just vegetate on the couch, or they play fucking Fortnite, or I don't know, some people obsess over working out. Everybody's has something going on outside of work, unless you're working like 80-hour weeks. But like for people who are working like 40, 45 hours, like I'd say it's pretty normal to have some type of hobby, I think is the best way to put it. And whether that hobby is, addiction to RuneScape or something a little healthier, it's people just have something. They have lives outside of work, and I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's like weird that there's a lot of RuneScape streamers who have like, where it's not their primary thing.
Yeah, I know it's just confirmation bias because we're both in the scene. It's just so funny that there's a lot of them, but there's people that they go out and they do their full-time job all day, whether they like it or they hate it, whether it pays well. It doesn't pay well. If you're above the age of 18, you probably know what it's like to do work that you don't really find gratifying, but at the end of the day, you get paid for it, whether it was chores growing up or, a summer job or working, God forbid, some of y'all out there working as servers or in the customer service departments. My hat's off to y'all. I could never do that. But then to deal with that, get home, boot up the PC, and then panhandle on the internet, either for attention or for potential money, fame, selling your soul for the future. It's just we live in. This is a recurring theme on the base tapes, is that we just live in such a weird time, and even weirder than it was just a month ago. Like ChatGPT dropping the 4.0 image thing has gotten the internet in a goddamn tizzy, and it's honestly fucking terrifying. Have you seen that? Have you seen like the outrage behind that as well?
Yeah, like the hate for AI art as like artists, as the fucking, baristas are like, my art.
Yeah.
AI can't take over.
Yeah, people are mad at the Studio Ghibli guy, Miyazaki. Miyazaki. People are like, it's stealing he worked so hard and now people are stealing, and it's like, duh. Where do you think we live? What do you think the internet is? Is nothing but a big copycat machine to keep taking something, reprint it out, quote unquote, better or for worse, really. It's just it's just the way that things go. You can't stop it.
I agree. I think at this point it's like, it's because AI and all these models out there, they are trained on all this data, right? There are all these free pictures out there, all these, like, for example, Ghibli animations out there, and then whatever crazy advanced algorithms learn, and you can apply that to anything, and you can ask ChatGPT to make a photo look like a Studio Ghibli format. Like, it's I don't know how people can be like, this is awful, this sucks, and what are you gonna do? Like, for the artists who are unable to sell their work now because they're getting replaced by AI, it sucks. I get, I understand losing your job and being mad about that, but I feel like just in terms of technology, right? That's just the way life is moving towards. It's not. A lot of people can say, "Oh my God, art is something that's human. You can't have a robot replicate it." But then you go out and see all these amazing AI pictures. There's also a shit ton of shitty AI pictures out there. But like,
there's in the Guinness Book of World Records, there's literally an elephant that makes paintings, and it sells more than what 90% of any quote unquote graphic artist will ever make in their lifetime. Why don't you go yell at that motherfucker?
Yeah, there are many things to be mad about in life, I feel like, but I think I've learned that the only thing that you should truly be upset about are things that you can control. You cannot control how technology works, how fucking big companies are not going to hire artists and stuff and just buy AI models to do their art for them. That's just technology pushing forward. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not your fault that this is happening. You're not being punished for something that you did wrong. It's just, unfortunately, life. It just moves forward, right? You got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And I understand a struggling artist's desire and the passion burning in your loins when you see something and you think to yourself, well, that's not right. But I just think it's stupid as shit to go on Twitter and then complain about it. I think that's like the dissonance that I have. Like that's where I draw the line in the sand. And especially for, like you said, for things that you can control. And unfortunately, we cannot control these large language models because tech firms have already invested billions upon billions of dollars into it. And not only that, you got to understand, I brought this up on a previous episode, that every time you upload something to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anything really, you're feeding back into the algorithm.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that these companies are using large language models to replicate all content that's being uploaded to it, and especially popular content, then you're naive. They absolutely are doing that right now. And eventually, we might all be replaced.
They literally own your data. So like, it's everything you put out there on the internet. You can I consider that pretty much public domain. Anything you put out there, any thoughts, like if somebody really at some point there have been Black Mirror episodes about this shit. I forget exactly which episode what it was, but in that episode, a woman's husband died, and then she had him recreated through all of everything that they found, all his information, everything he put out on the internet and things like that. They use that to like train a model to basically be him. And then rest of then it shows like all the dark side of having all that. But long story short, I'm saying that most of our lives, we've been connected to the internet, right? Not the entirety of it, but for most of it. If you take all those, like the last 20 years of internet search history, all the photos we put up, all the things we looked up, all the things we did, all the documents we made, all the videos we made, the tweets we made, like if you take all of that, thrown into an AI model, I'm sure that it can basically print out, you. Like
humanity.
TikTok does that. You scroll through 10,000 videos. TikTok the Chinese probably have some algorithm based on all the TikToks you've watched that they could probably 3D print out another version of you and replace you. I'm 100% sure that their government can do that.
Or at least maybe not a complete version of you, but a version of you that could fool possibly someone online that it is you. That because they know about how you type, how you talk, what interests you, and like that's just, dude. I honestly think that's kid shit to what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm sure they're used for more nefarious purposes, but like if you fed them the thousands of hours that, like, for example, I've streamed, or all the Based After Dark, you fed them all of those episodes that we've recorded, I'm sure that you can print out a pretty good copy of my, like, I mean, they already do that with voice, right? You just have to upload a couple lines or shit like that, and you already have AI voices, which are kind of, I mean, obviously shitty, but they're not trained very well. Imagine if you have like thousands of hours worth of vocal recordings. I could probably, you could be completely easily imitated. All those AI songs out there with LeBron singing, dude. Oh my god. Fucking love that shit.
No, it's wild. And like we are definitely in like some type of like artificial intelligence renaissance where everyone is currently trying to update and come out with the next best thing, and it's gotten to the point, I mean, what was the baseline of AI a year and a half ago? It was what? Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti? And we all saw that and we laughed and we chuckled. It might have been longer ago, but we all were like, ha 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 ha, look at this. We can look at what this silly little program can do. And now you can literally take LeBron and put him in any picture you want. Any picture you want. You could take a family photo Upload it to ChatGPT right now and say, replace everyone in this photo with LeBron. And ChatGPT is going to do its damnedest to do it. And,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's going to look pretty real. And that's what's scary. Because now we are no longer in the hee ha ha territory. We are in the fuck around and find out territory. Because dude, it is advancing so fast, and there are no laws being made. Like, sooner or later, someone's life is gonna get destroyed because of AI. And there's,
I'm sure. I mean, imagine like I'm sure the government had access to this kind of technology probably before, decade before it's actually been commercialized as it is now. Like, can you imagine just, for example, like a few decades ago, people like watching a video that has been digitally altered to, I don't know, like completely ruin someone's life? I'm sure at that point, no one would ever think, be like, oh, there's no way you can fake a video. You can't fake a picture. There's no way that can happen. No, there's no such technology. Like back then, you saw a picture or a video and you were just like, oh my God, that's real. Now, like, we actually have to sit down and think and be like, wait, is this real? Is it is what I am seeing actual information, or is this generated or fake?
Dude, you know what's so funny is it's pre-built into us. Have you heard of the Uncanny Valley feeling?
Yep.
And how, like, if we look at something that doesn't like seem right to us, like we get this eerie feeling about it. And I get a lot of that with AI stuff. When you look at it, sometimes you're like, oh fuck, that's really close, but not quite. Like, why is that a response in my brain? Like, is it in our genetic makeup? Like, I mean, psychologists.
It actually is. I went down a rabbit hole, and don't quote me on this. I may not be 100% right, if remembering correctly.
Doctor, you are a doctor.
But, yeah, that is true. I legally am allowed to stick 3 fingers in. 4 maybe if I feel good.
All right. Okay.
I think it had something to do with like people, like something about like mimicry. Like if you saw somebody who looks similar enough to you, like as a human, you like, or close enough to you, you're like, okay, that is another person of my family or my tribe. But if there is some type of being or something out there who like doesn't quite fit in or is not quite human,
like a Neanderthal, because Homo sapiens and Neanderthals were around at one point, like maybe not coexisting, but existing with each other.
Right. So I think it was something along those lines. That's where people say it comes from. I don't know. I just think that it does help a lot with our, given all this AI and misinformation out there. Like, you've also, I don't know if you've noticed, but it feels like because algorithm stuff of computers have gotten so strong, a huge portion of the internet just seems AI generated to me. Like, there are TikToks out there which are just fully AI generated. The comments are AI generated. I'm like, what am I consuming? Like, this is supposed to be social media where I connect with other humans, and that's not what it feels like. It is a giant just bubble of AI talking to AI.
Fraud.
Just rot and ads. A fuck ton of ads.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, like, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just, I think about this a lot in terms of, because like, so I want to say like maybe a year and a half ago when like YouTube Shorts started becoming more popular, and obviously TikTok, Instagram Reels, when people started figuring out you could like make some real money off of it, and there were ways to like cheat the algorithm, people would just upload like the same movie clips, the same TV show clips, and then eventually the algorithm figured out like, okay, this is copyrighted material, we can't push this, and then they would put it side by side with some dude like doing some maintenance stuff on something or cleaning up something, and then that would go viral, and then like they're like, okay, well now we figure this out, now they can't do that, so now they have the same movie clips with the guy fixing stuff and a giant black line going through the middle of it, and it's like how many versions of this are we gonna get before it's like, and now there are versions of it that are absolutely fucking insane to get past like the algorithm and the copyright protection check, And dead internet theory is so real, man, because sometimes you get a video,
Mhm.
right, and you look at the comments and you're like, there's no way this is real. These aren't people
Yeah,
commenting on this.
this is all fake. It's like the internet now is so different than what it was growing up for people like us, the millennial
Right?
age. Like
Dude, but you
when
wouldn't
when
question it.
when me growing up, it was like
Anything.
Facebook, maybe Instagram, and I mean even before that was like fucking Tumblr and MySpace and things like that. And people would share anything and everything. The internet was like an absolute, like it was in its infancy, right? The internet isn't what it is today. Like all the stuff about data and all that kind of stuff. People back then were just like, I am sharing down to personal details, everything, like uploading photos every day, like sharing statuses, saying all these things. Like there was so much information out there, and people didn't. You never thought about the whole idea of like data slash privacy slash, or even the fact that there are non-humans out there. Like at this point, like there's so much
Yeah.
AI technology shit out there. Like you don't even know what you're responding to, what you're consuming. Like back then, it was all just social media was social. It was
Dude,
built on the idea of being social. You're connecting with other
even
humans.
even the scammers weren't automated back then. It was it
Yeah.
was actual people trying to scam
Right.
you.
Yep.
And now it's just a bot with a phishing link.
It's so different now because like it's been crazy. Like nobody else has seen that type of like growth. I mean, obviously people have seen growth, around them in different eras, right? But for us, the internet era, like us
Mhm.
growing up, is defined by the growth of the internet.
Dude,
and how it changed from nothing to the fucking kind of dead internet, like AI wasteland it is now, right? Because the internet now kind of fucking sucks. Like I can't search for things. I literally every time I go to Google and search for something, I'm like, I have to add Reddit to the end of it because everything is just like ad links or like shitty useless links, and Google has its own AI which tries to answer your question and it says it completely wrong. And I'm like, dude, none of this is helpful. The internet is not what it used to be. It's not a way to. It doesn't let me connect to people the way it used to because I'm fucking bombarded by all these AI shit, all these ads all the time, and I also can't access all the information that I used to be able to do. Now I'm literally just fucking stuck behind other AI shit and more ads. Like, it's such a fucking pain.
And not even just that, the corporations have completely sold out too. Like there's very little anything genuine left in terms of like entertainment that you used to enjoy, whether it be movies, TV shows, video games. It's all fucked. Everyone's just out to get $1 from you and make something subpar. Nothing's really made with like ingenuity and love anymore. Besides like maybe a few passion projects that have like been that have came out. Like I'd say like Baldur's Gate 3 was like the biggest fresh of air gaming wise that we've seen in a long time. And in terms of like maybe TV shows coming out, it's not even. Oh, dude, it's not even TV. I don't know why I say TV shows anymore. That's how old we are. They're not even TV shows anymore. They're just shows. They're
just streamed.
Yeah, they're just streaming shows now, and there's not straight to DVD anymore. There's straight to streaming.
Everything is straight to streaming.
Yeah, and
except for a handful of big movies, and even movies nowadays are nowhere near as popular as they used to be. Like movie theaters are nowhere near as like lucrative as they used to be back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's I still like going to the movies to see a good film, but there's no such thing as a good film that frequently anymore.
No.
Like maybe once or twice a year, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to the theater to see that. Because I will say, watching a movie in IMAX, like hit by all the sound and that massive screen, it does like nothing compares to that. Like you can watch a movie on the couch or on your like computer and stuff like that in bed, sure, but nothing captures the depth. I'm not shilling for AMC and shit over here, but if you watch fucking Interstellar in IMAX or like the Batman movies in IMAX, it hits you in a whole different way.
I have some recent anecdotal experience for this. So,
oh yeah,
I have seen 2 movies. And when did what was the not the new? Okay, so Star Wars, right? You had the first three, and then you had the other three that came out when we were kids, right? Because there were the ones for our parents, and then there was the one for us, and then you had the one where Kylo Ren, and all those people come. What's the first movie? Do you know the name? Is it Return of the Jedi?
I do not remember. I only watched that first one, and I didn't watch 8 and 9.
Yeah, it's the one with Mark Hamill, right? Comes back as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
it's the first one they come back, and Disney had like just acquired it. And me and my dad were really big fans of the Star Wars movies growing up, because obviously he had it when he was a kid, and then the ones that came out when I was a kid, my dad would take me. So when a new Star Wars movie was coming out, me and him were thrilled to go see it in theaters. And we went and we saw it, and we were stoned, and it was the worst movie we had ever fucking seen out in theaters.
That bad.
And
damn,
the next time that I went to go see a movie at the actual theaters was Oppenheimer. So what, 5 years, 6 years of me just like that one movie stopped me from going to a movie theater in like 6 years. That's how bad it was.
I also feel like movies they just don't have as big, like I feel I don't know the numbers, but it really feels like they don't churn out movies like they used to. There's only like a handful at most of like big movies coming, because I feel like as a kid every summer there was like a bunch of movies coming out, and you're like, ooh, I want to see this and that and this and that. But like now, like as I said, there's only like 1 or 2 for a year at most, which I'm like, ooh, I really want to go see that in the theater. Even now, I can't name you, like I don't give a shit about the Oscars and stuff like that anymore. Like I can't even name any of the top films of the past 5 years. Like I have no idea. I don't know if this is a COVID issue because people haven't been going to theaters, or if it's just like the technology thing.
No,
how easy it is to stream movies.
I really think is pricing is one. I mean, people have been complaining about movie theater prices, God, since we were kids. To the point where it was a family tradition that we would stop at the Walmart before going to the mall, where they had the it's not AMC, it's Regal Theaters. We had a big Regal Theaters at the Mall of Georgia, and we would stop at the Walmart that was like 4 minutes away from it, and we would load up my mom's purse with candy.
Absolutely, dude. I still do that.
Yeah, and God, we did that ever since I was born. I bet our parents were doing that since they were kids. Like, so it's always been a problem of pricing of going to the movies. And then you cannot
catch me buying fucking $10 Kit Kats at
God no
AMC, dude. Fuck that,
bro. They would sell Dippin' Dots there for like $18 for a medium, and it's like $18 for a medium Dippin' Dots. That's insane. And I would pay for it because I love Dippin' Dots, and
my mom would only drop me off at the movie theater when I was me and my friend on Tuesdays, because they had half price Tuesdays. It was only like $5.50 or $6.
Dude,
those are the only days I would go watch movies, because
we're old, man.
I would not feel comfortable dropping $10, $10+ on a ticket nowadays. Like anything, like an IMAX ticket nowadays is $20, like minimum across the board, and then you add all the fucking random fees and shit. It is, dude,
not to mention if you just want to get a large drink and a large popcorn, that's like an extra $25 right there. Fucking highway robbery. And
so like I do get it. Like having it is definitely like a financial barrier at that point. You're just like, why am I spending $20 minimum, $20-$30 minimum for like a 2.5 hour movie when, you know, that's potentially dinner money and things like that. To be
fair, that's why they're dying. That's why they're dying, because people like you and me, we don't go out to the movies anymore. We'll just wait for the new Adam Sandler movie to come out on Netflix, where he's in space and he talks to a spider. And
I didn't even know that was coming out.
No, it's a movie that did come out. It's Adam Sandler is in space, and an internet and like a space wandering spider finds his ship and becomes his therapist. That is not made up. If you have a Netflix account, go watch Spaceman after listening to this. I love it. I think it's an awesome movie, especially if you're a drug user of the psychedelic or marijuana kind. Pot that before watching Spaceman on Netflix, and you're going to have a wonderful time seeing Adam Sandler talk to a space spider. about his problems with his wife back home.
Jesus Christ, that is, you know,
That's not clickbait.
honestly, probably a better movie than a lot of the shit that's come out recently. So I'm fine with that.
Dude, he's Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out on Netflix.
That is something I'd love to see. Just because I mean, Happy Gilmore has been a fucking huge part of our childhood, right? So
Yeah, well, dude, they don't make comedies like they used to, man. Like, I know you talked about the summer movies. That was like one of the things I would always look forward to, is like a Jim Carrey movie or the new Adam Sandler movie or just like some type of goofy fucking comedy, man. God, the scary movies, man. Scary movies 1 through 4. I don't care. A lot of people don't like the fourth one. I think the fourth one's just as good in terms of like bad movies being good, you know? Like,
dude, there have been comedy has changed a lot, I will say. I mean, also because you get older, your sense of what you find funny is probably changes. I feel like if I watched like Superbad at the age of 30 for the first time, I'd be like, but then I'd still laugh because that shit is timeless. All right, it's fucking amazing.
you're like, why is this fat
all
kid
the
so
Seth
obsessed
Rogen
with
movies.
dicks?
Dude, like all the dude, like in the 2000s, we had like, you know, those there's at least one movie a year coming out with either Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, some combination, or Will Ferrell, something like that.
Yes.
And like every year in the 2000s had that. And then I feel like it died off in like the 2010s because like the last couple of funny movies that I remember were like 21 Jump Street. I don't remember when that was. How far back was that?
God,
I feel like that's 2012. I feel like that was one of the last. That was like the end.
Dude, 21 Jump Street was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
My Name Jeff 13 years ago. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's insane. How long ago was Anchorman?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. That's what, 06, I want to say?
Is that real?
04.
Dude.
04.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, it's been 2 decades since. It's like, you're not going to find any movies like that because comedy's changed. One of my favorite films of all time, fucking Tropic Thunder. Talladega Nights. Oh my God.
Well, it's funny you say that because the comedy movies that were before those were like Airplane.
Yeah. I'd say Airplane was before that. I feel like there was a stretch in the 90s, early 2000s that was dominated by Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler. Like here's like The Mask and those things were like 90s. Ace Ventura. Jim Carrey, fantastic actor, by the way. Fucking incredible.
I know. Rest in peace.
And
he's mental now.
Oh, wait, what?
He's fucking. Have you not seen him recently, dude? He's batshit insane.
You know, to go through what he did, to spend like 10 years in the spotlight as basically God, you know what? It is. I expect nothing different to happen to him.
No, dude, he was Andy Kaufman for a year and a half for that movie, to the point where Andy Kaufman's family was calling him Andy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like you're not a normal person if you're able to do that. You're definitely extraordinary.
Yeah, he definitely very talented guy, but it's also still like, I don't know. He had his phase right there. He had all those funny movies, and then
Ace Ventura.
I think it was Ace Ventura. He had like
Bruce Almighty,
Dumb and Dumber,
Truman Show.
Mask, yeah, all those.
Like that's not a comedy, but Truman Show is still a really good movie.
Truman Show is like black comedy or something like that. I'd say, right?
Yeah,
maybe
to
psychological comedy.
Psychological comedy. A lot of people would call it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. One of my favorite films though, with him in it, was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like, that is actually a fantastic film. It's not. I don't think that is a comedy movie, but it shows like how great an actor that he was. I was just like, holy fuck, this is insane. Yeah. This is a lot.
I never saw that one, but the another serious, quote unquote serious movie he was in was what, 43? I did see that one. That one was pretty intense.
I have not seen that.
Yeah,
he's a good actor, and I think comedians in general have a lot of range, but they get typecast into comedy roles.
Well,
but
I mean,
that gets away from the whole fucking like the death of comedy films like that. I don't think anything past. I haven't watched a good comedy film past 2015. I want to say, nothing has made me like sit down, watch, and make me laugh my ass off. Even when if I'm like getting high as fuck, nothing has made me laugh as hard as like 21 Jump Street, Napoleon Dynamite, Tropic Thunder, and any of those like any films from that era. Just like this might be a fucking boomer ass take, but go ask any Zoomer, man, like what their favorite comedy film is. I can guarantee you, there's been nothing in the last decade.
No, I wanna agree with you because the last like comedy movie that I can think of was The Interview, and like that wasn't even that good.
Yeah, I think that was like the tail end of like, all right, this is comedy's falling off, and that was 2014.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list right now of comedy movies. Comedy movies last.
Let's check this out.
10
Recent comedy
years.
movies. Just like there's nothing.
Okay, Deadpool. You got.
Okay, I guess Deadpool counts, but like.
Yeah, I mean, even Deadpool 2 is from 2018.
Deadpool to me is like a different style of comedy. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, obviously, it's like a break the wall kind of meta comedy. So it's not like what those 2000s and early 2010s comedy were. Like I haven't seen like there's been nothing that has replicated that kind of like silly funniness to me.
No, there hasn't
like,
been. I'm looking through all of these. They're either like remakes of movies or like movies I wouldn't even call comedies. I would just call them movies that have funny moments in them. And that
it's like
it's
things
not a comedy.
Used to be like, I mean, obviously there were some which were just there was like, obviously watched as a kid, you're like, okay, some of the stuff which was just purely crass, you laughed at because you're just a kid. Maybe you wouldn't laugh at that anymore, but I feel like a lot of them, I really hope that I'm not looking back at them with like, you know, rose tinted glasses, being like, those are the funniest movies ever. But I don't know,
bro.
Hits,
I think if you went back and you did like a binge of like funny movies from, I would even say late 80s to like early 2000s, you're gonna find a lot of good in there. Just a lot of gold, a lot of well written, well thought out bits.
Yeah,
because you had to be, and like maybe we'll just get the references more because it's, you know, boomer take, but you know, that's our time. That's when we grew up. That's what we know. You know, we're in a world that's strange and being taken over by algorithms and code we can't see, and nobody's making
like, when we
anything anymore.
When we go back and look at old movies, we still think of them as funny. Like you've watched Airplane, you've watched Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
fucking
Blazing Saddles.
That's like that shit's hilarious, even though it's literally like decades before we were born. That shit stands up to time, right?
Bro, what do you think the first joke ever told was?
Jesus.
Ha ha.
I have no idea.
I have rock. You know have rock. Ha ha.
Is that even a joke? I feel like that's just like.
I don't know. What would be funny? Seeing your friend fall but not get hurt.
Oh, dude,
that's
watching someone. Oh, absolutely.
That's
that'd be
primal.
Hilarious.
I think that's primal. I think that's built into us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, emotion is built into us, right?
No,
like,
obviously, but like,
that are,
in terms of like the first joke, or like what was the first thing that like Homo sapiens laughed at, or like whatever common ancestor we have, like had the thought of hee funny in whatever language they thought of.
You see your dumbass like tribe mate or whatever you want to call it, either your family
Bust
or
his
somebody
ass,
within
his
your small
loincloth
tribe.
falls off, his nuts are hanging out.
You just like just walking around and fucking bust his ass. You're just like, bro, you fucking dumbass.
All the other everyone else is hooting and hollering, and before you know
that
it,
shit's timeless, dude.
Before you know it, comedy is invented, and like they didn't even know, because like
that's it.
Before there was like spoken word, like in terms of like movies, it was like what Charlie Chaplin and slapstick comedy. It was a Korean...
silent comedy was like that was a whole different genre.
They would guffaw at that. They would that gentleman got a vanilla cream pie to the face. Brilliant. He's a dastardly devil.
Take me back to those times, man. I'd love to.
Oh no, no,
be in a
well, you
time
wouldn't
where
want to go
that-
back to those
where I
times.
found-
They wouldn't
Oh,
treat
okay,
you.
you know what?
They wouldn't
Yeah.
treat you very well. They would
You know what?
think
Yeah, never mind.
they would think
Take it
you.
back.
They'd be like, "Where's your hair? Tear cake? Tear cake." I'm gonna cut this.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Nah. Death of Comedy was 2015. We'll leave it at that. There's been nothing funny. Like I really, even in terms of comedians and things like that, there have only been a handful which have really stood out to me. Like I feel like my barrier or my bar for comedy has probably gone up, but even then it feels like in general nothing tickles the funny bone like it used to. Like no comedian has made me no recent comedy show has made me like have a deep belly laugh or just like you know those like fits of laughing where you literally can't breathe. Like I don't think I've had one of those from watching a comedy special in a long time.
I don't know, dude. I went out to Bert Kreischer's arena tour for Father's Day, and I don't know if it was me or the pen, but half the time, I mean, I saw Joey Diaz, Mark Norman, Shane Gillis. I saw some fucking heavy hitters that night.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I was blind half the time from laughing so hard.
Dude,
maybe it was just because seeing stand up live is different than like sitting down in your room or your living room and watching a Netflix special. But I do think that there are some really good comedians coming up and doing well. And honestly,
Okay.
I feel like comedies have moved from movies into just shows. I'm currently watching through right now Righteous Gemstones. Have you seen that or heard of that?
Oh, fantastic
Yeah,
show.
and
So I guess you're right. Comedy is still alive. Righteous Gemstone did have me fucking giggling. Like, just it was more like chuckles and shaking my head of like, this shit is so absurd.
yeah, it's just not
which
in
makes it
movies
so
anymore,
funny.
man. I mean, Letterkenny.
Oh.
Letterkenny's been going strong for almost 10 years. Always Sunny in Philadelphia has been going on for over a decade now. Still going good. South Park. Fucking South Park. They've been promising a lot of new episodes, a lot of good episodes that are going to be coming soon. And I always
That shit is timeless.
will put my faith in them to make something funny. It just sucks that, you know, I felt like the nation did better when we had a Ben Stiller movie coming out. You know?
Back then, now fucking Ben Stiller's out here. Instead of making comedy films, he's making like amazing black comedy type shows like Severance and directing them. Fuck him, man.
Yeah, fuck him for moving on with his life and doing something other than uniting America with your slapstick comedies.
Yeah, right? Like, grow up, dude.
I want to see you get hit in the face with a dodgeball and shove a hot pizza down your pants.
God, fucking one of the best films of all time.
That's what we would laugh at, bro. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And you're like, huh? And this old diabetic crippled man throws a wrench at a dude's face and hits him square on. That shit was, dude, I thought that shit was the funniest thing ever as a kid. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I mean, dude, it's so funny. Like, you know it's good because a lot of our memeage came from comedy movies. Like,
I will say, on the other hand, like, the reason a lot of our memeing, or like, as a kid, we would fucking quote so many films all the time is because we weren't as, like, connected on the internet. Like, as we started watching shit ton of YouTube videos, we started quoting, like, those super popular YouTube videos growing up. And less of
Internet
the movies
lingo.
or comedy specials. Yeah, like now the kids still enjoy the same shit humor that kids enjoy, that we enjoyed as kids, except it's coming from a different source, and like it's the internet.
Don't get me wrong, man. I think that there are, like, you can compare Skibbity Toilet to like the YouTube poops that we would watch back in the day.
Yeah,
but I would put my money on it every time that the YouTube poops had more effort behind them and were better for us.
I mean, I think that's a boomer take. No matter like what you look at, it is still brain rot. At the end of the day,
spaghetti. I don't know, bro. I think you're wrong, man. I think Luigi's saying spaghetti 50 times in a very fast cadence and with different effects each time is funny as fuck, and nothing's wrong with that.
No, you know what? You're right. My bad. Like that's normal and totally healthy. And the shit that kids watch these days, that's bad for their brains.
Well, what about Adult Swim? Adult Swim, I'd still say, is leading the forefront of like new media and comedy-driven media.
I think you're right. There is still a lot of comedic media out there. I think we really focused on like movies specifically, not having comedies out. But I very much agree that TV shows or streaming shows, whatever you want to call them, definitely do. Animated stuff definitely does. Like there is still comedy out there. It's not like it's lost. It's just we just don't see it in the form of movies specifically.
Well, Hollywood's dead, you know. I think
Yeah.
maybe not dead,
Yeah,
but
Hollywood.
I think they're molting into they're metamorphosing into something else to be more branded on the internet.
I mean, it
right?
makes sense, right? Obviously, like the whole streaming thing causes like all this ease of access to media at home causes people to not want to go out to watch movies, which are expensive already anyways. And then a lot of the revenue for these movies used to come from box office tickets and things like that. And if that's not going to make you money, like how are you going to fund movies? And like it's all tied in together. Like no, like of course it definitely feels like Hollywood is like, I wouldn't say falling apart, but just nowhere near as big as like that was the main media for most people as you were growing up, like movies and shit like that. But now it's just taking a backseat to everything else. Like you're seeing like A-list actors doing TV shows and shit now, right? So it's like nobody in Hollywood is like being a movie star isn't as big a thing as it used to be.
To an extent, I still think there are some of those larger than life actors that are out there working right now. And probably some new ones that will pop up in our lifetime, like with anything else.
I'm sure.
I just think, you know, with the access to the internet, God, dude, I feel like for the longest time, like even movie actors and musicians and artists and just famous people in general, you know, they were told like, oh, you don't need to go on the internet. Like, that's not the place for y'all. Like, don't put anything out on the internet. Don't do anything on the internet. And now, like, that's all they do is put shit out onto the internet on their social media profile. I mean, God, T-Pain fucking streams on Twitch and is one of the most entertaining Twitch streamers I've ever seen. And that's the most unexpected person I would ever to think would be like a good Twitch streamer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, people are talented in many different ways, right? But to be a good Twitch streamer, I mean, being a good Twitch streamer and being a great artist that, you know, T-Pain comes from the fucking mid to late 2000s. T-Pain, oh my god, that shit, nothing hit better.
No,
like
absolutely.
That R&B was crazy.
Yeah,
but it's like those skills are like you'll see across most streamers. I think people who are good streamers just have in general good and entertaining personalities. Like doesn't matter where they come from, like what area they come from. Like they could be an artist, they could be a fucking, I don't know, like just anything. But every single streamer who is popular and good is an entertainer, and it's shifted, right? Being an entertainer back in the 2000s didn't mean, you know, there's no such thing of like going live and, you know, being a goober. Entertainment back then was different. Yeah, streaming nowadays is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, you had to go get up on a stage in front of strangers. And
and now I get to sit at the comfort of my home, fucking no pants on, just top half.
and get in a bunch of front of strangers and try to do something and make somebody feel a type of way about you.
Yeah, try to be a little funny. It's a lot easier when you don't see the people. I will say that it's much easier to sit in front of a PC and not think about, and just the only people you're looking at are just fucking digits on a screen or, you know, names.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, if you were actually on a stage looking out at like, I don't know, 50 to 100 people, you're like, what the fuck, man? I'd be I'd just be like avoiding eye contact and staring at the ground probably.
Yeah, I wanna, dude. I wanna say like, I did musical theater back in the day, and uh, I think a sold out show, which we never had. I think my auditorium only sat maybe 80 people, if that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done streams where there's been over 100 people watching, and
Yeah.
it not click. It you know, I want to say like the Hot One stream we did got to like 160 people, and
Jesus.
if you don't have that fucking view count in front of you, like you don't fucking know. Like there could have been 10,000 people watching me. I wouldn't have known,
No, yeah.
and it wouldn't have affected me.
It's so different with when you have like all those eyeballs on you. I don't know how to describe it. Like in my head, when I'm dreaming, I think I'd be a hilarious stand-up comedian. In reality, if I ever go on a stage with like more than 3 or to 5, maybe 10 strangers, I would probably just shit myself and then walk off stage.
Dude, you just gotta lie to yourself. You're laughing, but I'm kind of being serious. I really feel like the people that make it, they just lie to themselves the entire way, and
I mean,
they end up
I don't think
making it.
I don't think it's lying. I think it's more so. I get what you mean, but basically just like telling yourself that whatever you need to tell yourself to be there.
Cope.
Like, you could generalize this further,
And
right?
Take
like,
this.
You being in a fucking job that you don't deserve to be in. You're like, I deserve to be here. I definitely deserve to be here. It's like, well, sure, sure.
Well, that's. You want to talk about any experiences with your new job where there are people like that, or?
Oh, me? Oh, no. I deserve to be where I am.
Well, what about people around you? Is there any old fuddy-duddies that have been there forever and they don't pull their weight?
I mean, there are people like that all over, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, this goes back to something I said way at the beginning of the cast, right? I only concern myself with things that I can control. If the person I'm working with or even next to me just isn't good at their job or whatever, like I just shrug my shoulders and keep to myself because
Ignoble.
I feel like there's a lot of things to worry about in the world out there, but that ain't one of them.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Ignoble, there's a lot you can control with a hammer and no witnesses.
Jesus Christ. Well, a cop just drove by. I don't know if you could hear that. I want to pretend.
They're coming for me, bro. They don't. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Not quite. I mean, the thing we were talking about early before we even started the cast, I think we can jump into some of that. What were we talking about? We were talking about. I think we were talking about the cast, like the formats of the cast.
Oh yeah, and like what the cast has turned into, and like what base tapes is.
How the cast has sort of evolved, and the base tapes. Yeah, it's nice because when we did, we went from base season 1 to season 2. There was a huge jump where we went from like not bringing guests on anymore and going to more of a lifestyle podcast. Like that was definitely like a shift. And then like roughly like a year-ish or something later, I think I talked to Seth, or I don't know who I talked about. I had ideas for like Based After Dark season 3, right? Which, season 2 was all about, we get our 6 men and women at the time with Zoe Pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get at least 6 people on every time, 5, 6 people, and which is good and bad. Like it's great because nothing beats telling a story to a group of 5, 6 other people and then having everybody laugh their ass off when you get to like a punchline or something like that. It is a great feeling. I love that. That is like everybody laughing in sync, having a great time. It's just chef's kiss. But like you do miss out on other aspects of like conversations with people, because in a 6-man that's so hard to be able to get your thoughts out and stay on that one topic, because it jumps around so quick and you never ever get back to whatever you were talking about earlier. It jumps from A to B to C to D to E to F, and you're just like, it just goes, which is fine. But I think there are some casts which, like, for example, I've done a Sebe cast, you've done a Sebe cast. The nice thing is like you can always sort of tie things up at the end. Like if things ever slow down or there's a thought that you wanted to really wrap up before someone made a joke and took off in the other direction, like you get the chance to sort of slow down and really discuss a particular topic, or have the chance to go back and like really put that bow on it because you want to talk about it. But in a 6-man cast, that is impossible. It just flies.
Yeah, and it's also, you have to think of it like from a listening experience as well. A 3.5 hour cast of 6 to 7 people who are interrupting each other and talking over each other for even 10% of the time. That's
It's
like
a lot.
that's like 20 minutes of
and
people talking over each other.
It's too much. Like, I think 6 people. Like, of course, we got better, and we say that we got better. Like, it's like, we got a lot better at handling it, taking turns, making sure everyone gets to talk. But it's still like very hard because if somebody says, like, brings up a topic, if 4 people have something they want to say about it, not all 4 people are not going to be able. They're just not going to be able to. As soon as the second person adds onto that topic, it starts shifting in another direction. And like, you don't, I there definitely felt like there were times where stories were either getting interrupted or there was a direction where something was going and then it just got derailed and you never get to come back because everyone just flies off together into a completely different area, which is fine. That's just how 6-man casts work. But there were times where I was a little, I don't know if frustrated is the right word, but I'm just like, dude, I really want to have a discussion on topic X and we were having it like that. There's no way to come back to it, or like there's no way to like,
moment's gone.
I don't know.
It's
exactly.
it's
the moment's just sort of gone. And like
Yeah.
anything you wanted to say was just like irrelevant, never going to come out again, which, as I said, it is what it is. I was going back to what I was saying earlier when I wanted to have like a version of like Based After Dark season 3. One of my big things was I wanted smaller casts. I wanted, like, what Base Tapes is, what you're doing now is 2 people, right? SaintTits, you've been bringing on like 1 other person, maybe 2 other people.
Yep.
And 2 to 3 is, I think, a really good way to like actually bounce ideas off of each other and give people enough space and time to talk about their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like 6, like, imagine, like, just not even in a podcast setting, just imagine in a group in real life, you're with 6-7 other dudes hanging out with your bros. Like, you guys, the things that you talk about in the groups of that size is very different from like a one-on-one or 2-3 other people. Like, it is very, very different. I wanted to turn the Based After Dark thing in that direction, but I personally stopped coming on the cast as often due to IRL obligations and things, so I really couldn't push for a direction like that, because if I'm not involved, I'm not going to be the one trying to direct it in a certain way.
Yeah,
that's not really fair.
And it's funny because it's already naturally like gotten there anyways.
Yeah.
I feel like we've embraced the 4-man cast that we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of 4-mans and a lot of 3-mans. It's very rare that like we have a 5-man. We used to be so concerned about like hitting people up, to replace other people, and then it got to the point where like, well, we can't. Are we gonna record tonight because even the fillers can't come in, or are we just gonna record tomorrow when more people may be able to show up and ruin everyone's goddamn schedules? Because it's still crazy, bro. It's still, people are even with the group we have now. I mean, T Papa and Tasty, they run Behemoth daily. Seth is still a full-time streamer, content creator on the YouTube side of things. I'm still the main person that produces and edits the podcast. On top of anything Seth hands me, Top Tuesday related. It's still hard to even keep up with this schedule.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that we're able to do it at all.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that people are still doing it, right? Like, I mean, I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be on here at least like once a week, and at the end, it's not a huge commitment, but over the grand scheme of things, it is a huge commitment. Like, time wise, you think, oh, just one time a week, but like, it does add up. And for me, like, the timing just doesn't work out, unfortunately. But like, the fact that people are still coming to it is awesome. Like, I love seeing that, right? Because like, at some point you're like, okay, we're just gonna run out of steam. Like, most people just hit a wall, or like they don't really, like, the podcast just is what it is. You're not there's like not a lot more of like innovation going into it anymore. You know, you're not like planning for it, doing new things with it. It just, you know, show up, do your thing, show up, do your thing, which is fine. But like you sort of start caring less about it. I don't know if caring is the right word, but you just start putting less mental thought towards it, right? Because you start caring about the next big thing that you're working on, like new stream idea, new video idea, and like the podcast gets sort of put on the back burner. But the fact that like these people still show up, no matter like their other projects, is pretty dope. I'm glad to see that.
Well, I also, you know, when Seth brought me on forever ago, I would get frustrated sometimes with people, and I would vent my frustration to him, and I would say the exact same thing. I'd be like, I feel like people are putting the podcast on the back burner, and they're focusing on other shit, and I'm like, I wish people would care about the podcast more. And he had to sit me down and be like, dude, the podcast is just an investment. It's not the main thing. And even though it's not like technically the main thing, it's still the thing I run. So I try to do it to my damnedest. But yeah, I will admit that the podcast has turned into like somewhat of an automated process over the past year.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. It's just if you do something enough times, it's just eventually going to be automated.
Yeah. I mean, like exactly. It's just like going to the gym, right? You go 2-3 times a week. You're just automatically doing it after a while. You're not just fucking. You're not like, oh my god, can't wait to go to the gym. Can't wait to go to the gym. Can't do it. Like that. It's just like part of your daily routine. You're just like, oh, I'm going to the gym. Just neutral feelings about it.
Yeah, like,
and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's at the end of the day, the podcast doesn't like grow your individual channel that much, right? Like if you want to look at it as just like, what am I materially gaining out of this? It's just like there's not a huge material gain, but there is a satisfaction of I get to chat with my friends once a week. There are a bunch of people who listen and enjoy the content we do, so it's like fun for everyone. There's some growth there. It is like some community building, and obviously like hearing people in general just liking the podcast and wanting to keep listening is enough to keep most of us coming back and keep recording, right? If there was a complete negative view of it, like no one's listening, like people hate it, this is waste of everyone's time, no one's going to do it. But I mean, we've been doing this for years now, right? And nobody sees that as a waste of time. They see it as just like, I get to come hang with my friends, record it, and then other people get to have a giggle.
We still have a weekly 2,000 people returning to the podcast between YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah.
We have over 2,000 people a week tuning into this shit. I mean, between
that's crazy.
YouTube, Spotify, Patreon. And that's not nothing.
Yeah. It's I mean, like in the people are wowed these days by like, oh my god, like you have millions of views. Like you sort of get what's the word? Not distracted, but
desensitized the amount of numbers.
Sort of,
like you just
exactly desensitized is the right word. But like 2,000 is a fucking lot, man. Like that's a lot of people. Like even if it was just like a couple, like 100 some people listening to it 20 times, that's still 100 people, right? Like the fact that there are, you know, all these people who do listen to it is crazy. Like to me, I'm just like, I can't even imagine.
This is what I would always tell people when I first started like doing this. And I would tell them, I'd be like, oh yeah, we have a, you know, I work with my buddy. He gets like 140 people watching his stream. And they're like, that's not a lot of people. And I'm like, well, what if I told you 140 people are coming to fuck you in your ass? All of a sudden, that's a lot of people.
Okay, Bonnie Blue.
I mean, it's all about perspective, right? You know, it really is all about perspective. Like you can say, like to people out there, like I have 20 viewers in my stream. That's not a lot of people. And it's like, all right, let 20 people face fuck you. After the third one, you're going to be like, that's a lot of people.
I feel like there are way more PG ways of thinking about it that will get the point across just as.
This is base tapes. There's nothing.
That's true.
I understand that like we're intimate one-on-ones, but this is still based. Nothing's changed. We can talk about dicks and assholes still and doing drugs. That's not changed.
Nothing's changed, baby. Love to see it.
I mean,
No, I agree with you though. It's just like it really puts it in. You really have to put it in perspective, right? Even when I was streaming to like fucking like 10 people, right? I was like, okay, 10 is nothing. Like everybody has like 50 like to me at the time 50 was crazy, and then once I hit 50 I was like, that's nothing. I gotta hit at least 3 digits, otherwise it doesn't mean anything. And like, once you put it in perspective, like what it means to have 10 people just watching your gameplay, you being a goober, like you're just like, holy shit. The fact that there's more than one, that should be enough to send you spiraling into like, holy shit, that's a lot.
No, especially with how vast the internet is, you should feel honored. I mean,
Yeah.
God, it really is just a void that you just have to throw yourself into, and
The fact that there's somebody out there who's like spending their time with you on one of their tabs and is utilizing you as entertainment over the billions and billions of hours of media out on the internet and growing every second, like that in itself, you
Dude,
should just be like, damn, that's just happy about that, right?
how much into like physics are you?
Well, I have a doctorate in engineering, so yes.
I was fuck, I can't remember the scientist's name, god damn it, but I was watching I like to watch like these British ASMR videos of professors when I go to sleep. And one of the ones that I fell asleep to the other night was this professor trying to talk about visualizing how you would visualize the fourth dimension. And it made me think of like what Neil deGrasse Tyson said the fourth dimension is, and he said that the monsters, like the Pixar movie, is what nailed it.
Yeah.
Maybe is it Pixar or is it DreamWorks?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
I think it's DreamWorks. But either way, so you know how like you open the door
Yeah.
and boom, you're in someone else's room. You're in another universe, and that's the idea of like what the fourth dimension is. But I really like to. It just hit me like we open up these little portals when we go live. Like we open up these windows in the rift of the universe, and we allow access to anyone to like peek into it. And sure, maybe physically they can't like reach through and grab you, but you're still there. You can still see like what they're doing and hear what they're saying. And you can interact with them. Like, is that not enough to like maybe consummate that as like a way of like accessing the fourth dimension? I feel like.
I never thought about it like that. I do agree. It's like a sort of window into a whole different. You're at like literally a whole different world, right? Because otherwise they would have no idea seeing what you see and what you provide, right? I do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and like it's somewhere that's real too. That's like another thing that you have to think about. All those streamers that have cameras hooked up to their USBs on their computer, like that's like from a real location that you could go to.
Yeah.
It's just wild. I'm so fucking high right now that it's got me tripping out right now thinking about this. I feel like I just stumbled upon something.
No, it is very interesting. You do remember though that it is like a glimpse into a portion of a person's life, right? Like you may, for example, watch 10,000 hours of Zoe Pancakes, but all that you have watched of her is her at her PC and acting a certain way and playing RuneScape.
Well,
that's all you know about this person, and
the vast majority of it is cultivated to be in that in that light as well.
Exactly. So it may not even be like a real version of her that you see, or a streamer in general. I don't know why I use Zoe as a example for some reason.
One person that we could use that I think would be a good example is Raj Patel, Austin Show. You know, whenever he would go live and do these shows as Raj Patel, a lot of people thought there was an Indian man behind that voice, and it turned out that was not the case.
That is not the case. I mean, he hosted RuneFest this year. He was fucking amazing. I did not introduce myself. I just said thanks. That was a great job hosting. And he was like, "Thank you, man. Appreciate it."
Do you think
I give him
do you think Austin's show made strides of Indian acceptance in the RuneScape community?
To be honest with you, I never watched him when he was Rochville. I'm not much of a like big stream watcher guy ever, like outside of
Well, this
the
was
RuneScape
also a little bit before
section.
COVID too. This was before y'all's time.
That
a little
too.
bit.
Yes, like I really wasn't even on the internet at that point.
Dude.
Like not on Twitch at that point. I was definitely on the internet, just
Dude,
not Twitch.
you don't know.
So it's
funny.
like I sort of missed that. Yeah.
Dude, 3,000 people. He's got these fat e-girls on, and he's just, and the chat's roasting him. He's roasting them. Dude, it felt like the Wild West of Twitch. This was also when like Ice Poseidon was back on the platform too, so let you know the type of shit that was going on.
I've heard of these things. I definitely caught. I don't know. I think I saw. Like I used to be an avid Reddit browser at the time, so like, I definitely heard of these people from like Reddit every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've heard that. I heard about the internet being a completely different place at the time. COVID obviously switched it up, but like. I'm scared of that time because I think I would have thrived not as a streamer but as like a participator of that awful edgy humor,
dude.
At that age, like, I would have definitely significantly enjoyed that shit.
They had Alfie in cages with girls while he was like doing cocks, man.
Dude,
it was wild.
That shit's so funny.
It was wild, bro.
That shit would make me laugh so hard. Like I would love that era of Twitch. But obviously, I would look back at it and then cringe and be like, "Holy shit, I hope there's no video evidence of my existence at the time." That's how I feel about when I was like fucking like a decade ago. Like you look back and you cringe and you're like, "Oh my god, that's the person I was a decade ago." I wouldn't say edginess, but just the person you were. You look back, you're like, wow, like you were stupid or you were just a dickhead, and you're just like shaking your head at like,
to an extent,
how was I like that?
I feel like though there are different types of edge, right? And I want to say that like a lot of being edgy was just rebelling. Whether you were rebelling against your parents or societal norms or the culture like that you grew up in. Like I grew up in the South, right? Southern Baptist my whole life until I was 16. And my pastor kills himself.
Okay.
True story.
Right,
no, I'm not saying that for sympathy or for shock value. I'm just telling you a story of like what happened.
Yeah.
And I obviously you get some edge from that.
Yeah.
I went on like this deep spiritual journey of like reading throughout the Bible and like looking up a bunch of information online, and pretty shortly found myself becoming agnostic, and then even shorter after becoming agnostic, just becoming completely atheist. Looking into Judaism, looking into Islam, went down all the paths that like, I was told growing up to not to look up. Looked up the occult, looked up like Hinduism, Buddhism, a bunch of African religions and what they believed. The Egyptians, I really loved like the Egyptian religion. Was very interesting to me reading about, because the stories that they had about them were just so fucking cool, and all the different gods and goddesses and animal hybrids and whatnot. And yeah, I developed this fucking anti-religious edge to myself, and I would find myself and I would get in trouble for the things I would say at school because I went to a very Southern and Christian school, and I thought I was smarter than everyone else because I knew the truth. None of them knew the truth, and like I feel like that's where like edginess comes from, and like the edginess now is that I want to be able to say the N-word on Elon's Twitter. Right?
Right. It's
Like it's different. Like
It-
there's
I agree.
like I try to like be sympathetic with someone's edge because it may come from like a real personal experience. And it may not come from a bad place at all. I don't think being edgy is necessarily bad. It's just about how you do it, right? And like if there's like a cause for it, like that's logical in my opinion. I don't like there are people out there that
Yeah.
are just edgy for edgy's sake and just to say shit, and I think that's dumb because I never think you should say shit to say shit unless you're like with a group of friends, obviously. But like going out on the internet, like if you're gonna be edgy for like a reason, and a decent one at that.
Yeah. It's like I think it's almost like the shock value that kind of hits you, where you're just like I think I follow some like burner Twitters where people just say some wild shit. Like I don't know, it's just like obvious people say some very non-PC shit. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe they said that. Then
Yeah.
I giggle and then I move on. But it's just like that. It's people are edgy for different reasons, but I would say for the most part, people aren't being edgy to actively because they're bad people. They're just either, as you said, like have this type of experience which causes them to try to be edgy, or they're just, like in the process of finding, like literally in the process of fucking around and finding out. Like
Yeah.
we were all kids once, we're all saying stupid shit. Like a lot of the times I'd say the people who are saying stupid shit aren't saying it because they mean it, right? They're just trying to instill some type of just little edginess. So what are you saying? Being edgy for the sake of being edgy. If there's
Yeah.
no like reason behind it, I like, as on this side of 30, you look back and you're just like, all right, that's fucking dumb. Why are people like that? But we were all fucking like 15 once. We were just saying shit because we were just like, oh, I can say that. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Like,
to an extent. Like I also, you say that, but then I stayed away from kids that did shit like that didn't have I loved a rebel with a cause, not a rebel without
I
a
see.
cause. I don't want a burnout just because he's a burnout. I want a character that burns out because like something happened to him that changed him forever, or he has like some goal, or at least like some type of like morality he believes in, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say like edgy people that like, I know people who say shit, who just say stupid shit. I'm a person who says stupid shit, but I am fairly strong upon my morals, right? I'm a like, you have seen my Twitter or
Yeah.
over COVID,
Well,
like
where there's a
our
rhyme,
Twitters.
There needs to be a reason, right? And I'm not saying that like jokes don't always have to have the rhyme for the reason, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of like edginess, I view like being edgy as like making a statement. And maybe that's just not what it means anymore. Maybe it's just changed.
Mm.
I've always viewed the edgy kids were the goths, were the grunge kids, were the hippies, were the druggies. Athletes weren't edgy. The nerds weren't edgy. The preppy kids weren't edgy. It was always like the outcasts of society were the edgy ones, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was just what they did.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think, as you said, definition of edgy has changed. Like now, as you mentioned earlier, edgy correlates with fucking spewing slurs on the internet.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that guy's just fucking doing
Red pilled,
I'm
red pilled, beta male,
Yeah.
Sigma. And it's like, bro, you guys are fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm not a red pill guy, but you know that Andrew Tate guy? He's kind of cool, right?
I fucking love Andrew Tate. He's really taught me how to be a man.
Like they're like it stems from somewhere, and like it stems from like the reason that he became so popular is because there are all these shit people who have a twisted view of the world, who see themselves as like victims, or see them as like, oh, like, people are holding me down as a man, so I have to like prove my manliness, and this guy is telling me that
We
you know,
used to
women
be
bad,
able to beat
men on
women
top.
back in the day. Why can't we do that no more? Because Billy Bob Thornton,
Yeah.
it's not nice to hit people, even if they are your wife, you fucking asshole. She has feelings too, and a mind of her own. Maybe she doesn't want to raise 6 fucking kids while you work 80 hours at the ball crashing factory. Billy Bob. Fuck.
Yeah, well, you don't know that, okay?
That's a good
You don't
point.
fucking know that.
Maybe she does. I don't know.
I think it just stems from like there are a lot of people out there who, unfortunately, especially like at a younger age, with when they have impressionable minds, like fall into this and see like, oh, like this is what it means to be a man, and then they sort of follow it because they don't know any better. Like that, it sucks to see that because you're like they literally don't have the life experience to realize what this guy's saying. 90% of the time is just like misogynistic and weird. Like you can pull out certain things about, you know, having confidence or having like, you know, the mental strength or building good habits and things like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to go hand in hand with being a misogynist, putting other people down because of their gender and things like that. Like you can be a confident person, you can be someone with good habits without being a fucking dickhead. But like those are all, that entire thing is bundled together in people, in like those, you know, those men's rights people. And it's just like, dude, like if you had the ability to do your research or look at all these other you know, types of information, you can see, you can pull out the good parts, you can pull out the important parts of, you know, broken clock is right twice a day. He'll definitely at some point say some shit which is like, you know what, maybe you should be confident in yourself, not be confident in yourself enough to like go beat women or something, but like, you know, bad example. Maybe we should cut that. But like yeah, I don't know, just bad. Like
No,
I wish people had the ability to like sift through all that shit and pull out just the good parts, but that requires you to have a lot of different streams of information and you know, having the mental acuity to sift through all that and then coming to a decision about what is good, what is bad, and what lessons you should take out.
well, it's just I feel like a lot of people base their beliefs on like as owning the other person, being right. Uh, it's the quote tweet mentality. It's the ratio mentality. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's become like it's manifested itself into real life. That like basic tribalism at the end of the day. My group smarter than your group.
Yeah.
And that's never gotten us anywhere. At least
It doesn't matter what technological age you're in, we're still fucking doing the same stupid human shit.
well, it's like we are, but like there's more people now than ever that aren't doing that stupid tribal bullshit that know better. But like there's still just so many of us that are, unfortunately, that are just stuck in this famine mindset that actually believe that like people deserve to be homeless and poor and that you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and I did it, why can't you?
I don't understand. Like I don't understand why people are poor. Like, dude, just like go get a fucking apartment. Go ask your dad to live in his
Why don't
summer
you,
house.
dude?
Like what?
You didn't own 30 rental properties by the time you were 25. What are you, a fucking idiot?
Those are two very interesting things that you do bring up, like two separate topics. Like one, it's like there are a lot of people that I've seen who come from like financially secure households and things like that, and I will say the vast majority of them recognize the privilege that they grew up with, but there are always those like a couple of people out there, the loud ones, who talk about like, I was able to go to college and do all this and get a good job. Like, why can't everybody do that? It's like, the opportunities that you had, if everybody had them, they would probably make it through college, get a good job or everything. But a lot of these people just conflate the privilege that they have with saying that they achieved it themselves, whereas they were just fucking born into it. And it's just luck at that point, right?
Well, no, like also people just need to understand that like you need to have a functioning society. Uh, you need to have every section of society be able to live a sustainable lifestyle, right? Uh,
Right.
so whether you're poor, middle class, upper class, whatever, for society to function as a whole, all three need to be able to survive. Uh, and now it's kind of getting to the point where, like, that middle class is slowly getting smaller and turning into the poor class. And then, like, people finding themselves in the lower end of the poor class are getting to this unsustainable zone. And it's scary because prices are still just going up. BlackRock owns a lot of the housing in America, and our president sucks the dick of Elon Musk and President Putin. And it feels good to be a white man and almost in his 30s. Because I'll tell you one thing, Ignoble. If I got to turn on that Southern charm and dye my hair blonde, I'll do it. I'll do it to live. But you know what? If you need to stay here, I got you, bro. I got a shack out back. I'll give you a diary.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I know who to call if I need it.
Oh my god, bro. Oh man.
It's very interesting that you bring that up, though. It's just like there are people in all the different economic classes are feeling it, right? People who are like middle class, they are feeling like the lifestyle that, for example, that their middle class parents lived is slipping away from them just because of like prices and things going up. And I mean, I'm sure it's like that scary feeling is even worse for the lower economic classes, like what they could barely afford before, they can't afford anymore now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just everybody's hurting down the line, and that wealth gap between the top and the bottom, it just keeps going up day by day, right? And I don't know. I'm not a fucking economist or anything. I don't know how to fix it. I think it's way more complex than just taxing the rich or take their money and give it away. There is a solution out there, but it's way too complex for my feeble mind to comprehend it.
No, I mean, I don't got a fucking solution. I don't know.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm not saying you do or anyone does.
I'll tell you one thing. I know I can look at a fucking washing machine, and when it doesn't wash the fucking clothes, I'll say that washing machine's broke. That don't mean I don't know how to fix it, but I know it's fucking broke. There's still shit in my drawers.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, yeah. No, that's you are very able to say that, when something's broken, it's broken. It's not a great situation for anybody who is not in the upper echelons.
It's like watching that movie The Big Short,
Yeah.
And that happened. I lived through that. I didn't have a very good understanding because I was a child being, sheltered by my parents. But then you see a lot of the similarities of like what happened back then, like kind of trending that way to like where it is now. And
yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of negligence going on. And now that there's a madman with his hands on Social Security money, and they're just cutting shit left and right, it's a little concerning.
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, like I'm relatively new to the workforce, right? It's like, imagine the people who are in their fucking 40s, 50s, who've been in the workforce for like 20, 30 years, hearing about the fact that every year they put money away to Social Security, you lose money to your taxes and things like that. Like, oh, it's because I'm saving up for the future. Or like, in theory, what happens, right? Like a portion of your money gets taxed for Social Security, and that Social Security is used to pay out, the old people in society. It's supposed to sustain, the country that way. Like, as a working person, you are paying it. You're paying now for the old people, and then so that by the time you turn old, the next generation will pay for your, you being able to live in your old age. But hearing that all that shit potentially getting cut is terrifying, because you're just like, okay, Uncle Sam is taking 25% of my paycheck for, old people, and I expected that to happen for me for the future, but then that doesn't not happen anymore. Like, just fuck me, right? Like,
You got to work till you're 70,
even if
buddy.
you make like yeah, dude.
Gotta work till you're 70.
Retirement age is gonna be like, it's over. It's fucking over.
By the way, anyone out there working real hard right now, my father died at 48. Heart attack. Worked his entire life. Thought he was going to keep living. Worked hard every day. And that's just the reality that, people have to face, that like, we're expected to work until we die. And then like, I saw it happen to my dad.
Yeah.
And that's definitely like shaped me and like what I do for work. Going towards the future now. And
dude, that's good. It's good to have that perspective, because I think I know I have gotten lost in the like, okay, I need to work X amount of years so I can make X amount of money so I can afford a house, a family, and these things. And when I turn 62, I'll retire, and then all these things. But like, nothing's for granted, man.
No,
you don't fucking know if you're gonna die tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, the reason I bring that up is because like they expect you to work until you're 70, and it's like, well, the American lifestyle will kill you before you hit 55.
Yeah.
What are you working for, if not the present? People act like, people can say all they want to like, you'll get that Social Security, or you need to invest in bonds, or you need to invest in the stock. Let's be real here. The only reason why anyone gets up and works their ass for tomorrow is because they need to eat tomorrow, and that they want to go on a trip in a week. Like, I understand that we can plan for the long term, and we can plan ahead as humans, and that's like what's helped us develop as like a species. But putting it into practice for the everyday man, I feel like it's not as necessary. I feel like a lot of people are living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, just living in the now.
There's definitely a huge group of people who live like that, for better or for worse. Like there's two groups of people who do that. There's some people who make a solid amount of money, but they don't know how to save, so they just blow through it all and they live day to day, paycheck to paycheck. But then there's other people who are in a worse situation where they don't make that much, but they need to not just pay for themselves, they have to pay for their family, their kids, and things like that. And they can barely live day to day, and that is unfortunately becoming more and more common in this country.
No XP waste. There are people AFKing at the GE, and there are other people out there too taking T's.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. Really.
It's like yeah, and there's not much you can do. It's good to think about and like be aware of, like, for example, like the privilege that some people have. Like I'm lucky enough to be in a spot where, I don't, like, every paycheck I make, I can take a portion of that and save it for the future. I'm not using it to buy like food. I don't need it to buy food for tomorrow or the day after.
Mm-hmm.
But like, sometimes I just get annoyed because I know people who are making way more than me and living a fancy ass lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I'd want that. But then you got to put in perspective the other side, right? The people who wish they had your job and the money that you make so that they can support their family, their kids, and things like that. And it's like,
bro, you know what?
It's fucking depressing thinking about it, but
you know what really put it into perspective for me?
What's that?
My buddy, before like the AI craze hit and took a lot of like blog jobs on the internet. That's what my buddy used to do. He owned like 3 or 4 different blog tech websites. And he had a secretary that worked, I want to say the Philippines. That it might not have been, but think of like one of those countries over there, like just an offshore worker, an outsourced worker, not in the United States. And he was paying her $6 an hour. And he worked with her for about 6 months, and he's like, you know what, this girl does a good job. I'm going to bump her pay to $7.25 an hour, the federal minimum wage. A month later, she texted him a picture of her and her family standing with a new 1998 Toyota white truck. And she said, "Thank you so much, Mr. Jonah. Because you gave me that raise, me and my family were able to afford a truck." And I thought, wow, here I am at the time making $21 an hour at construction, and I'm barely scraping by. And this little girl over in the Philippines got a $1.25 raise, and a month later, her family has a new truck. Insane difference of like wealth, like the way wealth can take you, like how far it can go, the spending power of it.
Yep. Yeah. It's always good to get that perspective. Like we all live in our little bubbles. You fucking watch Tasty go to a Michelin star restaurant and drop fucking $500 just for an extra piece of little truffle, and you're like, what the fuck, man? And then you go home and you read about or hear about all these people that you're talking about. Like, it's just there's a whole, like, this gap is crazy. It's just important to realize that most of us fall somewhere in the middle. It could always be worse. I mean, there's always going to be people who are way richer than you are, but just have to be thankful for what you do have.
I mean, yeah, we both could have been born girls in a fucking rice farm village in China in the 1980s. We would have been fucked.
I think that us being just dropped into most periods of time, we'd be fucked. Or even today, dropped in a different portion of the world that is not fully developed or still, like, you know, there are probably billions of people out there living in poverty. Like,
do you want to be a Somali
be
pirate? Do you want to be a modern day Somalian pirate?
Yeah, imagine like you're doing that shit to feed your kids, and that's all you know how to do.
Oh my god!
Like,
yeah, my buddy MK, he is a RuneScape player from Saudi Arabia, and he would tell me about the culture over there and about he's having trouble finding a wife, and he explained like the dating culture to me, and he's like, since I'm only half Saudi Arabian, they view me as dirt beneath their feet, so no one will let me marry their daughter.
Classic.
And I was like, just because you're half Saudi? He's like, yeah, just because I'm half. I'm like, well,
Jesus.
Fuck me, I'm glad I'm not fucking half Saudi in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, like it's...
Oh.
You just gotta look on the bright side of what you have.
Yeah.
And keep it that way. I don't know. I sometimes get bummed because I know a couple people who are just living insane lifestyles, but then I do sometimes forget about the hundreds of thousands of people who are living worse than me. So,
dude, you just gotta be thankful. You just really need to be self-aware with like self-aware and be present in the moment and really understand like the time period where you're living in, and like the access to healthcare, technology, drugs, food, water, and shelter. I mean,
yeah, like the fact that, and for me, like the most I have to think about for food is like walking to Trader Joe's or fucking picking up takeout. Our ancestors or other people around the world are literally trying to figure out, how am I going to find my next meal? I'm out here where like, ooh, does this one have too much fat? Are there too many carbs in this meal? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's wild, and thankfully I'm not too picky with how I live, man. As long as I have food that I like to eat and an internet connection, I can live, man. I swear, bro, I could live. Like, I really I would do like those month challenges where I stay in a room with like a 24-hour live stream. I feel like it'd be so fun to do.
Doing that alone, I mean, I think humans are social creatures, so I think I would spontaneously combust after a few days.
Oh no, I'd have access to the internet still. It's just I just can't leave the room.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, well, I mean, that definitely changes things.
Yeah, no, it's just, yeah, I just live in this 24-hour cube. I really want to do like a Big Brother type show. I feel like it would be so much fun, but I would need like $50,000 minimum to make it happen.
Yeah, that's definitely a little hard to finance.
Yeah. And I don't know where I'm gonna get
man.
$50,000 from without it really biting me in the ass.
No, I feel that.
Well,
All right, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
no, I think
I'm
it's,
reaching the end of my battery here.
yeah, I think we've gone past the point of no return for sure. This has been a fun time, Ignoble. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, dude. I very much enjoy doing the cast, and especially doing something smaller like this. I feel like it's much more fun to. It's fun to switch things up. Having this like one-on-one conversation is not something we have too often, so it's a good fucking time here.
And hey, man, just think next time when you do this with Hamsey, you'll have more experience than him.
That's true. Fuck Hamsey. Fuck him for not coming on. But also, I love him, so
And with that,
I won't.
we'll see you guys later.
See ya.